Hello students, I'm Anita Abraham, Associate Professor of English, Vivekananda Government Degree College, Hyderabad. Welcome to the English classroom. This is video number 30. Today's English lesson is from semester 3 of the General English curriculum prescribed by Osmania University for students of BA, BCom, BSc and BBA. Today's topic is titled Prepositions. If you like my video, please subscribe and press the bell icon so that you get notified of subsequent videos. Let's get started. We'll be doing prepositions today. What is a preposition? A preposition is a word used to link nouns, pronouns or phrases to other words within a sentence. They act to connect the people, object, time, location of a sentence. Prepositions are usually short words and they are normally placed directly in front of the noun. In some cases, you will find prepositions in front of gerund verbs too. A nice way to think about prepositions is as words that help glue a sentence together. They help join, connect, glue the different parts of the sentence together. They do this by expressing position and movement and possession, time and how an action is completed. So they are small words, but then they do so much to bring meaning to a sentence. Indeed, several of the most frequently words in all of English, such as of, to, for, with, on and at are prepositions. Explaining prepositions can seem complicated, but they are a common part of the language and most of us see and use them naturally without even thinking about it. Because they are what glues the sentence together. So we often use it without thinking about it. It comes naturally to most of us. In fact, it's interesting to note that prepositions are regarded as a closed class of words in English language. This means unlike verbs and nouns, no new words are added to this group over time. So when every year we know a set of words have entered the dictionary, so that is usage, certain vocabulary that has been used over a period of time by people has been integrated into the language. So, but they are usually nouns and verbs, not prepositions. So, the prepositions, around 100 to 150 of them, are closed class of words and no new prepositions have been added over a period of time. In a way, it reflects their role as the functional workhorse of the sentence. They are unassuming and subtle, yet vitally important to the meaning of the language. So this is what we must remember about prepositions. There are two very important rules to remember when using prepositions because they are somewhat vague. Learning about preposition and using them correctly in sentences takes practice, because translation is often impossible when dealing with preposition. Even the most advanced students have some difficulty at it. So when it is verbs or when it is other parts of speech, you can translate it easily, but not with preposition. So there are the first rule that you must remember is that that to make sentence clear, specific prepositions are needed. For example, the preposition in means one thing and the preposition on cannot substitute for it in all cases. Some prepositions are interchangeable but not always. The correct preposition means one particular thing, and using a different preposition will give an entirely different meaning to the sentence. I want to see you in the house now, Bill, means something very different from I want to see you on the house now, Bill. You get what I'm trying to say? So it's very important that you use the right preposition, and so that you convey the right meaning. In the house, Bill should go through the door and walk inside and stand in the hall or the living room in the first sentence. On the house means Bill would need to get a ladder and climb over the roof, where he should be on top of the house. Okay. Look at the two sentences. I want to see you in the house now, Bill, is very different from I want to see you on the house now, Bill. In and on completely changes the meaning of the sentence. The second rule for using preposition is that prepositions are generally followed by nouns or pronouns. There was a time in the past when teachers strictly followed this rule, and so some sentences became very clunky and awkward. I am seeking, for example, someone I can depend on ends with a preposition on. So people who insisted that sentences shouldn't end with a preposition would be forced to use the convoluted and unnatural phrasing, like to avoid ending that sentence above with a preposition, you would have to say someone I can depend on is whom I am seeking. But nowadays it is accepted. You can end a sentence with a preposition. For example, I am seeking someone whom I can depend on is perfectly acceptable in today's English. Once upon a time, you always needed to end the preposition had to be followed by a noun or a pronoun. Okay, there are more than 100 prepositions in the English language, around 150. In addition, there are endless possibilities of creating prepositional phrases that begin with a preposition and end with a noun or a pronoun. Those are called prepositional phrases. So that combination is endless, but there are around 150 to around 100 to 150 prepositions, and it's a closed group. Okay, while there are only about 150 prepositions in the English language, these words are among the most important. Without them, sentences we speak, read, write would be difficult to understand. And I'm going to give you a list of prepositions. It's not a complete list. However, most of the important prepositions I think I have got it down on the list. I may have missed something, but then you are always welcome to add on to the list. I put it alphabetically: abroad, aboard, above, across, against, about, absent, after, along, alongside, circa, minus, to, amid, concerning, near, towards, among, considering, of, towards, amongst, anti, around, as, at, despite, down, during, expect, expecting, of, on, onto, opposite, outside, under, underneath, unlike, until, up. So do you see how we use these words all the time, and these are the words that hold the sentence together and give meaning to the sentence, and it's very difficult to translate it into a language, a different language, so that the essence or the nuance of the meaning comes through. But then in English it holds the sentence together: before, behind, below, beneath, beside, excluding, failing, following, for, from, over, past, per, plus, regarding, upon, versus, via, with, within. So do you see all these words which we use even without thinking are all prepositions? Besides, between, beyond, but, by, given, in, inside, into, like, round, save, since, than, through, without, word. Okay, so do you see all the words? I'm going to put some of the common prepositions for you so you know the list, and if you know the list of what the prepositions are, then you will know how to use it in the right place too. So let's just quickly review. Preposition shows a relationship between two words in a sentence. The relationship between maybe between a noun, pronoun, and a verb, or between two nouns or pronouns. Okay, then moving on, the rat was caught in the trap. Okay, so the in shows the relationship between the verb caught, preposition, noun is trap. The player kicked the ball into the goal. Now you have ball, which is noun, into preposition, and goal again noun. So you know the relationship between caught and trap is made clear by the preposition in. Similarly, ball, goal, you know, the action is becomes clear with the preposition in too. Okay, so that is how important prepositions are. Now let's look at kinds of preposition. The first one is simple preposition, and the examples would be at, by, in, of, on, out, through, till, to, up, with. Examples of compound prepositions would be above, about, across, along, among, around, before, behind, below, beside, between, inside, outside, within, without. And then phrasal preposition. Okay, phrase prepositions like that we have like agreeable to, according to, owing to, because of, in addition to, with a view to, in accordance with, on behalf of. You see that? Okay, so these are the different kinds of preposition. Then we have other prepositions too, prepositions of place, like to, at, from, away, from, out of, behind. So this conveys a sense of place. Then you have preposition of time, at, on, in, for, before, after, since, between. Then you have preposition of position, on, among, before, behind, in front of. This is what happens. Verbs plus preposition, agree to, meaning plan something, okay, proposal, agree with someone, appeal to a person, higher court, appeal for, help, appeal against a decision. So these are phrasal prepositions. Okay, apologize to, apologize for, bring to, that is make something known, bring down the prices. Okay, that way. Bring out, facts, a book, that way. Complain of, pain, you know, a kind of discomfort. Complain to is to someone, you're complaining about something to someone. Complain against someone or something. So do you see how complain is the common verb here, but of, to, against. When you say complain of, the meaning is something. Complain to, it means something, and complain against, it means something else. So these little words make all the difference. All right. Then there are personal pronouns, which are 7 in English. I, we, you, he, she, it, they. Okay, so these are your personal pronouns. Okay, 7 of them. So look at the corresponding forms used after preposition. So when you're using a preposition, then these are the when you're using a corresponding forms of these personal pronouns, you when after the preposition would be, I would become me, we would become us, you would be you, he, him, she, her, it, they, them. Okay, so corresponding forms used after prepositions of these personal pronouns. So that also we must remember, because these are important while we are framing our sentences to be meaningful, and only then can we communicate effectively. Now look at the pronouns after preposition. To give you an example, he gave a book to me. That's first person singular. He likes all of us. First person plural. He gave a book to you. The second person is always you. Second person singular or plural. I gave him a gift to him. Third person singular masculine. He took the book from her. Third person singular feminine. I went to the library with them. Third person plural. So we must, I'll just take you back to that so that, yeah. So do you see the corresponding forms used after prepositions? Okay, so that's very important. Alright, some commonly confused pairs of prepositions also we must be aware of, because it can entirely change the meaning of the sentence. The pen is in the box. In indicates a state of rest. He came into the room indicates movement. Okay, that is, he came into the room. In the box is like stationary, at rest. All right. He sat on the wall. On also refers to things at rest. But then the tiger jumped upon the deer. Upon refers to thing in motion. Okay, so these are really, you know, people tend to use on, upon, in, on, tend to interchange, but then there is a subtle meaning that we must be aware of. He lives in Hyderabad. In is used in with the names of countries, states. Okay, he lives at Madhavpur in Hyderabad. At is used with specific location. So he lives at Madhavpur in Hyderabad. So this is very important. At and in is also quite usually confused. Okay, so my house is by the market. Here by means near. My house is beside the market. Beside here means by the side of the market. Okay, by here is near. Beside here is absolutely next to the market. Okay, side of the market. Near my house there is a theater besides a market. Okay, near my house there is a theater besides a market. Here besides means in addition to. There is a theater and a market. Okay, so do you see the difference? So we should not get confused. Okay, we must use the right preposition so that we are conveying the right meaning. To take it further, the match between India and Pakistan. Between here refers to two people, two groups of things. Okay, or groups, two people, two groups, or two things. The World Cup will be played among 16 teams. Among is used to refer to more than two people, two groups, or two things. So between and among is also something that we all get confused with. Okay, so I hope you got a general idea of how we must use the right prepositions at the right time. Let's do some exercise, and that will make it more clearer when we use the appropriate prepositions in these exercises. Shall we do that? Exercise 1, this is from your textbook. Fill in the blanks with the appropriate prepositions. Okay, the principal presided dash the meeting. Over the meeting. The principal presided over the meeting. His second one, his report dealt dash the academic activities of the college. His report, whose report? The principal's report, okay? His report dealt with the academic activities of the college. The principal thanked the students dash their cooperation. The principal thanked the students for their cooperation. The fourth sentence, the chief guest congratulated the students dash their performance. On their performance. Very good. Fifth sentence, he said that the secret dash success lies in hard work. He said that the secret of success lies in hard work. Sixth sentence, he advised the staff not to quarrel dash themselves. Among themselves, okay? Because there are more than two. If there were just two, then it will use between. But then there are more staff, lot of members, so we will use among. It would be wrong, he said, to complain dash each other. Against each other, about each other. You could use both. About each other, against each other. We can use both the prepositions. Then let's move on. Sentence 8. He pointed out that students depend dash them upon them. Okay, he pointed out that students depend upon them. He warned that he would not put up dash any indiscipline. He warned that he would not put up with any indiscipline. Good. 10. Dash a brief speech, the chief guest gave away the prizes. After a brief speech, the chief guest gave away the prizes. Okay, so do you see how the preposition is linking nouns, pronouns, or phrases with other words in the sentence here, and you need to use the right preposition so that the sentence is meaningful, otherwise it wouldn't convey the right meaning. Let's do exercise 2. Correct the common errors in the use of prepositions in the following sentence. So these sentences have the wrong usage of preposition, or you need to add a preposition, delete a preposition. So let's look at the sentence and try to correct these sentences. Okay. So when you read the sentence, you read it 2 or 3 times so that you know something is not sounding right, and now here we know it has to do with preposition. So identify the preposition and see whether you require it there, or do you need to add one, delete it. Okay, so that's how you do these exercises. He picked up a fight with me. Sentence 1. There is up and with, both are there. He picked up a fight with me. Up is unnecessary. He picked a fight with me. Now look at the second sentence. I ordered for a coffee. The correct word, we don't need for here. I ordered a coffee is good enough. Alright, so this is an over usage of preposition. Alright, look at the third sentence. He replied me in the negative. He replied me in the negative. It doesn't sound okay. Well, what do you need? You need a preposition. Which one would you use? To. He replied to me in the negative. Look at sentence 4. He is unable to move from bed. He is unable to move from bed. He is unable to move from. What do we need here? His bed. Okay, he is unable to move from is correct. The preposition is okay, but you need the corresponding personal pronoun that would go with he and with the preposition would be him. He is unable to move from his bed. Okay, from his bed. All right, let's move on. Let's look at sentence 5. They were talking something. They were talking something. So you need to add a preposition here. They were talking about something, or you can say they were talking of something. You can use about or of. All right, let's look at sentence 6. This paper is inferior than that. This paper is inferior than that. Can we use a better preposition here? This paper is inferior to that. Okay, to would be the correct preposition. Okay, everyone should pray God. Everyone should pray God. Everyone should pray to God. Okay, so you need to there. 8th sentence. He will be cured from his fever. Again, this is from and of. We all will get confused. He will be cured of his fever. All right. Let's move to sentence 9, which is write the answers with ink. Write the answers with ink. The right with is a wrong preposition. Write the answers in ink. Look at sentence 10. This is a comfortable house to live. This is a comfortable house to live in. This is a comfortable house to live in. Okay, so earlier a preposition would have to be followed by a noun or a pronoun, but now it's accepted. So you need to have in here. This is a comfortable house to live in. All right. 11. This building is built by bricks. Replace by of. This building is built of bricks. Good. Let's move on to sentence 12. I shall inform them this. I shall inform them this. We need to add a preposition. Where will we add it? Here. All right. I shall inform them of this. Okay. So do you see? It could be a wrong preposition. It could be you need to add a preposition, delete it. Okay, so you need to practice. It comes with practice, and these are a close set of words, and you need to practice them so that you know there is this the meaning gets transmitted organically, smoothly. So we must use the correct preposition and make that possible. So let's also look at prepositional phrases, which are very important. Like you have prepositions, you can have prepositional phrases where the a prepositional phrase is the preposition, the object of the preposition, and all the modifiers between the two. Okay, for example, let's look at this example. There are fruits in the basket. Okay, in is the preposition, the basket is the object. All right, or they left just before us, modifier before the preposition. Okay, just. You get it? All right, let's look at it. The prepositional phrase can function either as an adjective phrase or an adverb phrase to modify the other words in a sentence. Let's look at prepositional phrases functioning as adjective phrase. Let's look at an example. You can use the mop behind you to clean the room. Behind is the preposition. Behind you is the prepositional phrase that functions as an adjective phrase modifying the mop noun. Do you get that? Okay. So it's very important that we understand how to use prepositional phrases too. All right. Now let us look at a preposition example of a prepositional phrase functioning as an adverb phrase. It irritates, example is, it irritates me when people talk during a performance. During is the preposition. During a performance, the prepositional phrase that functions as an adverb modifying the verb talk. Okay, so it modifies the verb talk, and so it's an adverbial phrase. All right, let's do an exercise and then it will become clearer. In exercise 3, what we will do is we'll fill in the blanks with appropriate prepositional phrases from the ones that are given in the box. Let's first look at the prepositional phrases in the box. In case of, instead of, in addition to, on behalf of, in a way, out of, in spite of, according to, in favor of, on the whole. All right. So these were the prepositional phrases. Let's try to fill in the blanks with the appropriate prepositional phrases. I gave a presentation dash all my classmates on behalf of all my classmates. Okay, I gave a presentation on behalf of all my classmates. Let us look at the second sentence. Dash, it was a pretty good film. Let's look at all the prepositional phrases and pick up the right one. Yes, on the whole, it was a pretty good film. Let's look at sentence 3. He withdrew his application dash his rival. Let's look at the prepositional phrases in the box. Okay, on behalf of. He withdrew his application on behalf of, in favor of. He withdrew his application in favor of his rival. In favor of, for his rival, he gave up his application. Okay. Moving on, sentence 4. Dash the heat, we all work during summer. What would be the appropriate prepositional phrase to pick up from here? In spite of. In spite of the heat, we all work during summer. Sentence 5. Dash of a fire, exit from the rear window. In case of a fire, exit from the rear window. Sentence 6. Can I help you dash? Let's look at the words, the prepositional phrases, and then pick up the one that's most appropriate. Can I help you in any way? It's a question. Can I help you in any way? 7. Let's move on to 7. I would rather have water dash a soft drink. I would rather have water instead of a soft drink. Let's move on to sentence 8. We all have to work dash government rules. Let's pick up the most appropriate phrasal verb from prepositional phrase from here. We all have to work according to government rules. Sentence 9. He opened the attachment dash curiosity. Let's pick up out of. He opened the attachment out of, because of. Okay, out of curiosity. And the last sentence, sentence 10. Dash to the crew. There were 60 passengers on the flight. Dash to the crew. There were 60 passengers on the flight. In addition to the crew, there were 60 passengers on the flight. So students, I hope you understood prepositional phrases. Let me quickly recap for you. A preposition is a word used to link nouns, pronouns or phrases to other words within a sentence. They act to connect the people, the object, time and location in a sentence. Prepositions are usually short words and they are normally placed in front of a noun. In some cases, you will find prepositions in front of gerund verbs too. Okay. Instead of several of the most frequently used words in all of English are prepositions such as of, to, for, with, on, at. Okay. Uh, it is an integral part of the language, and most of us use prepositions naturally even without thinking about it. And it is interesting that prepositions are regarded as a closed group of words or a closed class of words in the English language. They are unassuming, they are subtle, yet very important to convey the meaning of the language. Okay, convey effectively to others. Prepositions play a very important part in gluing the sentence together to convey and communicate meaning effectively. Thank you, students. Take care and stay safe.